Good morning, it's Coffee Talk, and today is Saturday, April 18th. I'm super excited to see y'all on here because that's so exciting when it gets bigger and bigger while we're actually live. And I know a lot of you are listening to the replay, and that's totally fine too. I know what it's like having kids all over the place on Saturday morning, but I'm really excited when you guys hop on here live. It's really cool. When you're on here live, you get to ask questions in the chat. I'm not sure if you know that. You can listen to the interview and ask the person being interviewed more questions. And it's just fun to be able to chat in there. Also, today is brought to you by two things. One, today we are doing a virtual super weekend. First time ever. I'm really beyond excited about this. Every quarter, coaches come together. Coaches and a lot of challengers come too because it's really fun. And it's usually live locally. Maybe a couple hundred coaches will get together and they'll watch a video from corporate about all the new things coming out. And if you're anything like me, I have complete FOMO. I need to know what's going on as it's going on, right? I don't want to miss out. It really bothers me if I get information late. So going to those are really important to me. We talk about product launches, things, new workout programs coming out, things like new flavors of Shakeology, Beach Bars, things like that. Anyway, that is so much fun. And this time, because nobody can get together, we're doing it virtually. So if you're interested in that, get with your coach and get the link to be on. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And the other thing this is being brought to you by is bod groups, which is one of the things we are talking about on that virtual weekend call today. Bod groups is going to revolutionize our business. And if you've ever heard somebody saying, like, when it comes to like a business opportunity or getting into a franchise or whatever, like how cool would it have been if you were able to open a Chick-fil-A right before Chick-fil-A became the thing? Like while McDonald's was still the thing and Chick-fil-A was right here, quickly coming up here, right? Now Chick-fil-A's up here, McDonald's down here. What if you could have gotten into Chick-fil-A here? Right? Well, that's kind of like what it is right now with bod groups. If you can get started as a coach, if you've ever been thinking about it, or if you are a coach and you're thinking about ramping up your business, now is the time to do it because bod groups is going to revolutionize the fitness industry, right? It's really, really exciting. So make sure that you get on the call today because they're going to do a training about bod groups. Okay. And, oh, by the way, if you're not a coach already and you're even thinking about it, it's still worth getting on because then you can like see what you're getting into, right? So that's really cool. All right, so today, let's talk about Alex. Today we're bringing on Alex, who's on here as Alexandra, and I never call her Alexandra, and I didn't
Only my mom and dad call me Alexandra.
I didn't even know what to like.
No, Ryan doesn't even call me that, so, you know.
I didn't even know what to like put in my email because I'm like, why does everything say Alexandra? Why? Alex, you need to change that. Change it to Alex. Maybe Alexandra, I don't know, something.
I was X once at a college, and at a summer camp, I was X, because there were 4 Alexes, so we all went by
So what were you?
X.
X. Oh, we're going to go by X now. Okay,
there
cool.
Was Al, there was X, there was Zan, and there was Alex.
I love it. All right, so I brought Alex on here because she did something incredible. Here's the thing. You can right now it's totally crazy, right? Totally crazy. People are losing it. I mean, like, I understand that. But if you can find the peace and routine in all of this, you're going to come out stronger than you did going into it, right? And one of the coolest things I saw that Alex is doing is she took this opportunity of being home, of being able to pretty much set her own schedule now and figure things out and use it to really dive into her nutrition and to figure out the food thing, right? I mean, why not? You're home all day. You can really, I mean, I'm not saying you're not busy. Trust me, I have 4 kids. My husband's home. It's really insanity, like totally insanity. But you know what? If you set your priorities, not care if your house is clean, who cares if the laundry's piling up? Nobody needs to wear anything good anyway. So just put your priorities in order. And that's what Alex did and decided, you know what, I'm going to dive into my nutrition. And I was like so proud of her when I saw her. I see her pictures of her food. She's excited. You know what happens when you work on your nutrition? Your energy comes up. You get excited about life, even in the worst of situations. And I love seeing that. in Alex's social media lately. So, okay, Alex, tell us a little bit about before you, even if it was years ago, before you ever got started with Beachbody programs, nutrition stuff, just tell us where you were at before you were ever introduced to this.
Well, I've been teaching. I guess I've been teaching for, let's see, it was 2016, so 8 years. Mostly inner city school, all inner city schools, Philly and Bethlehem. I always made no time for myself because I was so invested in helping my students, trying to read and learn. And yeah, so I wasn't even on my to-do list. Let's just say that. I've been a yo-yo dieter my entire life. I started my first diet at 13 with my mom. So I've done Scarsdale, Atkins, Beachbody, or not, South Beach, Weight Watchers. We've tried like this horrible diet called Ideal Protein. So I like have always been up and down with my weight ever since I can remember, and always feeling like I had to do like a crash diet and limit myself.
I so relate to that, and I love when people come on here and tell me about that. Not to be like, hey, you. I'm just saying, like, I can relate to it because I've done probably 80% of the things that you just mentioned, and then like diet pills and this and that. And yeah, no, it's just a horrible road, and I think it plays with us mentally even more so than our physical, bodies.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a huge sports person. So like in the summers, I would do golf, tennis, and swim team, like right in a row when I was younger. And then I had to pick one when I went to high school, so I picked tennis. And then in college, I really didn't do much of any exercise. But yeah, so like I always felt like, well, why am I not losing weight? Because I'm exercising like crazy, like, and I just never felt good in my own skin.
When you brought up starting like your first diet at 13. Did you do that because your mom was doing it and you were supportive, or did you do that because you personally were like, I need to change something?
I think it was mostly because my mom was doing it, and she was like, you could use a little weight. Let's do it together. And
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not the first person who said that. I've heard a lot of people tell me about their parents saying something to them about, oh, you probably should lose a couple pounds, which is, so please don't say that to your kids. I don't care if your kids are overweight. Don't say that to them. So did those things work when you were doing them? No. Like the South Beach diet, Atkins? I mean, not even for a little bit? I know for me, like, I lost some weight.
South Beach did. I did that when I was in high school, I think, or in college, and then I did it before my wedding. But I was also exercising a lot, and I was pretty focused on it. And yeah, I got down, at least 10 pounds.
Yeah. Okay. So I do find that too. I find like, yeah, they might work, but it's usually very short. Like you're not changing your lifestyle. You're not educating yourself. You're just kind of putting this, because I did the same thing, and I used South Beach diet. I'll never forget it. Before going to my first island, like Jesse and I were going to an island, and we were going with a couple, and we were like, we're all doing it, and we all dropped like significant weight, and then right after it, we like ballooned up, like a lot more than we lost. And I was like, wow, that's not working very well.
Right.
So how did you get introduced to Beachbody system?
I was driving home from Cape Cod after Christmas. So like December 2015, I guess it was. And I like was so uncomfortable in my pants. I like had to like unpop the button on my way home. And I was like, we had done like the Canada, Cape Cod, like the whole tour for Christmas, and like when we go to Canada we eat like crap, poutine, like hot dogs. It's like awful. I just felt awful, and I knew I had to do something, so I was like just searching online, and I found the portion control containers and 21 Day Fix on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
I bought them on the way home, and then I weighed myself when I got home, and I was the heaviest I'd ever been, and I knew it. Like, I just knew. I knew,
By the way
like,
your clothing fit and
yeah. So I thought the portion control stuff would really be helpful because as it was presented, it's really like a lifestyle. It's a balance. You're not really giving up anything, and it seemed like it would fit in with my teaching day. It would actually maybe force me to eat.
yeah.
Surprisingly, I didn't eat, but I would have gained weight. Like, so yeah, that's how I was introduced to it.
And did you have success with it at that point? Or did you know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't dive into the working out much at all. And then I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she told me Kaylee. She was like, you can have you. I was assigned to some random coach. Like I didn't even know I had a coach. And she's like, yeah, Kaylee's a coach. I know her. Why don't I get you hooked up with her? So Kaylee took me on, and she really just encouraged me to keep working out, like trying to fit it in. And I did a round of 21-day fix. I think I dropped like 4 or 5 pounds. And that was exciting to me. So I kept going, and I did another program. I think I did PIO, and I was running and keeping up with the portion control at that point. So yeah, I just started to see that it was doable.
Yeah. I think it's so awesome that, not awesome and awesome, that I've done the same thing. I had multiple programs from Beachbody that I ordered through infomercials because I thought it was like a shining light that was going to do something for me. And I never completed one of them. It wasn't until I actually connected with a community of people like the coaches, right? Who actually, and I'm not going to say it was like one specific thing. I think it's the multiple, having a coach, being in a group, like being able to talk to people and have someone encourage you. And I know Kaylee is one of the best people for that. Like you tell her you're dropping off, and she's like, oh no, girl, you got this. You're amazing. She's awesome with that. So you have an amazing coach. But I feel like that whole, like, it's a synergy. It's working together. It's being in that community, being able to talk to people, having a coach, batting things back and forth. That I'm not saying you'll never like gain weight again. I'm just saying like it's easier to get back on track with those things and actually complete something. And it's an upward spiral. Like, oh, I have a little success here and then a little success there, and I might drop off a little bit, but here's somebody helping me, pulling me back up from the water, So I mean, do you feel the same way about all that?
You brought up the challenge groups, and that really helped me. I'm a very social person. And
are you really?
I'm a huge, I'm a social person, which is like, and so having the challenge group, being able to check in and do selfies and stuff like that, and just be around people I actually normally am not around daily, like in my school environment, it just becomes kind of cliquey and all that. And I like the different social environment of the challenge groups. And I felt good whenever I was checking in, and so
how has your energy changed? I mean, think about the day you were driving home from Cape Cod, right? And you had to pop that button, and how do you feel then, energy wise, versus now you have a child too, right? Like your day is busier, it's crazier. So, but how is your energy now compared to then with more energy?
Well, I would say it has its ups and downs for sure. And I was up and down in the whole process as well. Like, from when I started to where I am now, like I gained back all the weight. I stopped working out. I stopped doing what I needed to do, became extremely depressed. But like whenever I go back in, like whenever I lean into the group, whenever I start again, I definitely, like, my energy level goes back up, my confidence level goes back up. I feel better overall. And for me, I learned like putting myself first and getting the workout in first and is key. Like I can't put it off to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. As a teacher, I would, when I didn't have a child and it was just me, and I would just come home, shoot the Energize and go out for a run or do PIO, but now I can't do that. So
So you find waking up in the morning, doing it first thing in the morning is key to your success. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kaylee would tell you that was never me. Like,
you're saying you're not a morning
be
person.
like, join me at 6 a.m. I'm like, no, not me. Nope, never. No, but now I'm up at 5:30 and, working out and trying to get my invites in and yeah.
It's one of those things that's funny. I never was either, but nobody would believe me now because I'm a morning person. But my alarm clock was my children for a lot of my life. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't have to wake up, there was no waking up. And even when my daughter was younger, she would like get up and make herself lunch for the day, and I would still be sleeping before school. Like I didn't get up until I absolutely had to get up. And now that morning time before the kids get up, I would not give that up for the world.
I know. I know. And I think for me, like I started to get pretty depressed during motherhood, like the 4th or 5th month when breastfeeding ended. It was really the 2nd month, but there were some other issues going on, I think. But like I just felt like I had I feel guilty saying it, but like if you're a mom, you probably understand, like you feel like you gave up your whole life and like you don't even know who you are. Like it's like you're just living for this breathing thing in front of you that like is a miracle, but you don't know what he's my first child, my only child. And like, I don't know what I'm doing daily, like with him, as a new mom, and it's all new and stressful. And, I'm a very independent person, and having this little thing being so dependent on me all the time was draining, just mentally and physically exhausting. So
absolutely. And dictating your life, like they're dictating your life, you're not dictating your life.
Why I was so happy to have had Beachbody in my life beforehand and know that I could go back to the community, and like you guys are always willing to take us back if we fall off, and I think that was big for my mental insanity that 4th or 5th month, and trying to get back into it. And so yeah, like you were saying, like that morning routine became something that like it became my me time, right? Because the rest of the day is like you don't know what's going to happen. And okay, I was doing nap time, so like I would work out during nap time and all that, but
everybody knows that nap time is never consistent. So like you can't rely on nap time to get stuff done.
I could rely on nap time to get a workout in, but Jenkins always been a good sleeper, but but I couldn't rely on checking into the challenge group. I couldn't rely on getting my meal prep done or meal planning, or couldn't do really anything but like get a maybe 15-20 minute workout in, couldn't shower after that. We don't shower till the night.
I love that. I'm thinking about, remember those commercials? They probably still have them. I just don't watch commercials anymore, where they have the button for people who are elderly, and they you can press the button. My great grandmother used to live with us, and she had that one, right? And you could press it if something, it's like the lifeline. And I feel like our community is like that lifeline. If you are like struggling big time, maybe you don't check in normally. Maybe that's not like you and you're on your merry way. But when things get rough and when you're struggling, you have this lifeline, and you know that the person on the other end is going to be accepting and loving and caring and non-judgmental, right? And I think that is just so important to have in your life. So important. And it's someone who's gonna not, I don't want to say lie to you, but like if you're feeling low energy and you're feeling like nutrition and fitness is going to help you, but you go to your mom, they're probably going to be like, oh, you don't need, honey, you look amazing. You don't need to work on those things. You eat fine. You're one of the healthiest eaters I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to sugarcoat it a little bit, and they're not going to.
Not my mother, but yeah. Even my own dad, I had lost 30 pounds or something. He's like, good, are you going to keep going?
Oh my God. Maybe he's Kaylee's being encouraging.
I'm 5 pounds away from my pre-pregnancy weight. He's like, good. What are you doing now? I'm like,
Okay, so on the flip side, you need the lifeline for people to be like, yes!
yes!
Great job, Alex!
Yeah, but, you know, it helps when Kaylee's like, well, are you doing those things? Are you, like, what's your nutrition like? You know, I mean, I can't
What's your
tell.
water intake? Are you drinking half your body weight in ounces? Are you, these are all things that you need someone to bounce these ideas off of.
Right.
Liz says, being in this community has helped me a lot. So thankful. I agree. Kaylee said, now you wake her up. You've become the alarm clock for Kaylee.
Never in a million years would I thought that would be me.
Molly said, lovely seeing all your faces. She has to go. See you later, Molly. Sorry, I'm too late on that one. Marla said, so thankful, coaches and community never give up and always take you back if you fall off. That's true. It's very true. I have some others here. Yeah. Kaylee said the community, all very.
I think too, for me, like, I felt like I was losing my identity, and you know me, like, I did not want to go back into the classroom, and I wanted to work really hard not to do that. But at the same time, I was struggling because I was depressed. Like, I couldn't get out of the bed. I was going, whenever Jenga was napping, I was going to nap. I was going to sleep. Like, this was like 4 or 5 months in, when I was getting 6 hours of sleep at night, you know, and I learned that, like, I needed to work. I couldn't just be changing poopy diapers and trying to attempt to latch a baby to my breast. Like, I needed to do something with my mind, and Beachbody became an outlet for me to be able to do that. Like, going to Whole Foods every Wednesday, not just once a week or once a month, but like starting to make for myself and just get away and have
it's
that.
True. When you go from working in something that, I mean, being a teacher, it's not just, 9 to 5. It's
right.
And you're passionate about it, and you're helping, and you feel fulfilled, even though it's so hard. But then going from that to staying home, and I remember that for me, I remember going full-time working to, and I was working full-time and going to school too. Going from that to being home full-time, it was like a piece of me was missing, and I went into this like crazy anxiety-driven like inwardness, right? And I realized that I needed something extra. I needed something that I could create and be creative and feel fulfilled and give myself in a different capacity. And I think, you're right. Coaching is huge. So, and you're creating an income. So you're right. I think the community and everything, it just makes such a big difference. I'm going to change this up just real quick. I want you to tell me what you've been doing over the last couple weeks that made you feel, and I'm going to share so how old is Jenkins?
He's at 13 months.
13 months. Okay. And so this picture is from right after Jenkins was born. Is that right?
It's May. So that's 2 years or 2 months after he was born.
Okay. So this is a 2-month postpartum picture. And then this is currently, right?
Yeah.
That is just amazing. I love this picture. I think it's so great. And I think your face says it all. You sent me the picture. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so angry.
I know. I'm like, oh, yeah. Where'd my cute baby bump go? Like,
but even look at your like shoulders in the second picture. You're like, bam, look at me. I love it.
Yeah. So and I know you said I should post it all the time, but I'm waiting until May.
She's like, I'm not posting this picture until May. I go, why? Like, you should be posting this every week. Post every single week. Change the outfit, post it again, right? Like every week. So tell me, a lot of that you said you didn't really dive into your nutrition until a couple of weeks ago. So you were incrementally changing your routines, working out, and then just recently over the last like month or two, you really kind of started diving more so into your nutrition. Did you do Ultimate Reset? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so Ultimate Reset, if nobody knows, or if you don't know, you're questioning this, is a program that we have. It's like it's a cleanse, really. It's 21 days, right? And it slowly eliminates things from your diet, like dairy and meat and things like that. And it's really to reset your metabolism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I find also get your taste buds working differently because you're eating a lot of veggies and you're eating things that at first you might have been like, well, I don't want to eat that. But now you're like, oh my God, that is so flavorful. It's so delicious. So it really is when it says reset, it really is a reset. You're resetting your habits around food. You're resetting your taste buds. You're resetting your metabolism, right? And so you, and by the way, everybody I know, like I've used that program many times and I've helped a lot of people do it. And I like to try to do it at least twice a year. So tell me, what was your thoughts at first before doing it? And we only have a couple minutes left, so I just want to go through this quickly. What was your thoughts before doing Ultimate Reset? What were you like, am I going to like this? Am I going to hate this? Like, what was your thought about the program?
Well, I had done it before. I had done it 2 years ago before I got pregnant. Or no, 3 years ago. And I knew that like it really helped change my mindset on why I was eating stuff. Like, and I remember in the past, first of all, I had lost 14 pounds, right? And I was honestly like, I wanted to lose another 15 pounds, right? Like, and I wanted to officially get past my pre-pregnancy weight. And actually I wanted to get to I didn't realize that when I started UR this time, I was actually at my pre-pregnancy weight, but that was a nice surprise. But anyway, I wanted to do it because I wanted to rein in my nutrition. Like we were eating Oreos all the time. Like ever since Valentine's Day, we just were like grabbing the chocolate too much. And really like I was just in this funk of eating too many sweets and like not really following any kind of meal plan anymore. And I was apparently dropping weight, but like I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good about my energy. I also had a back injury, as you know. And the last time I did it, I remember my back was hurting and I did it and the inflammation went away instantly. So I kind of did it for the weight loss, but I also knew that it would help me my body just feel better.
Yeah.
And I was nervous about doing it. We got our kits the Thursday before we were not the stay-at-home order, but the first one that was like limited. And my mother-in-law and I were going to do it together. And then she's like, I don't think I'm going to do it. And then Amanda was saying she was going to do it. And we were really worried about being able to get our groceries and all that. You know, we did an exchange of milk and veggies the first day. You know, you don't drink milk on the diet, but I needed it for my son and she had gotten some. And so, but we just did it. And I'm glad we did it when we did because it opened my mind to other recipes. I didn't follow it to a T. I couldn't find a lot of the stuff. I couldn't find tempeh. I couldn't find tofu. Like I just was having bad luck with that, even though I planned 2 weeks ahead of time.
Oh, wow.
Like I still couldn't get those things in my cart and I wasn't going to the store. So, you know, I didn't have so much control over that, but I just repeated a lot of recipes. I had that sweet potato and red pepper bisque. I don't know how many times. It is delicious though. And it's so simple. The recipes are so simple. But I did adapt a little bit and I still saw results. I lost 6 pounds, 12.5 inches, but I mean, it wasn't near my 14 pounds, but and by the second week, I had no more back pain at all. And I was off the Advil. I wasn't popping Advil left and right anymore. I definitely was drinking a ton of water, which was good.
That's
I had 3 Oreos throughout the whole thing, but that's only because my father said to order them and then we split the order. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love that you didn't take this as an excuse. Like,
right.
I mean, seriously, grocery stores are getting wiped out, but to be honest, they weren't getting wiped out of all of their produce.
No.
They were getting wiped out of the things that you weren't eating.
Right. I mean, I was surprised the tofu and tempeh was out, but
yeah.
You know,
but I think it's awesome.
Other things that I was surprised about, but like edamame.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one lady was like, what's jicama? When I ordered jicama, she didn't know what it was, but a lot of people don't. So I explained to her what it was. And she gave me these, I didn't know. When I got it before, it was like this big. She gave me 2 that were this big. I learned that it lasts a long time too. So that's a great.
Yeah, jicama does. And by the way, every time I buy jicama, nobody knows what it is. Like the cash register people, they have no clue. No clue. I've educated way too many people on jicama.
Yeah. So I think it's open mind. So this week was my 4th week, and technically you're supposed to do it in reverse, but I knew there was no way I'd be able to stick to that. Like I just know myself, and I can't. I couldn't be a vegan another week. Like I needed to have a little bit of meat or some dairy. Like
Did you go to one, or what did you do?
My plan was to ease back into it, but what I should have done was make my meal plan based on what we had in the house, because we did an order Sunday, and at first I thought it was coming that day, and then it was bumped to Friday. So I ended up like kind of grabbing whatever was available.
Yeah.
And not sticking to it to a T, you know, like
right.
Ryan's like, oh, we're supposed to have veggie burgers tonight. And I was like, yeah, we had chicken burgers 2 days ago. We're not having veggie burgers. Like, you know, I didn't do it as well. But next week, for this week, like I'm going to take an inventory of what we have. Now we have our fresh produce again, and the frozen vegetables. So I'll look at that. And my plan is to only eat meat 3 times a week at dinner, and the other week eat the vegetables.
Yeah.
It's a little hard when you have a husband that is 5 pounds less than you and needs to eat a ton of food and meat all the time.
Put a piece of chicken on for himself.
Right. And yeah, I think that's my plan this week, and I'm getting back into the working out. Like, so I'm just ravenous. I'm so hungry. So hungry. But I've been relying on my shakes, the Recover, the Shakeology. I'm really relying on those to like help me get through the cravings during the day, and just
I love that. Last time I did Ultimate Reset, I was still nursing, and I still drank a shake every day, like in addition to the meals. So that was my like addition to what I was doing for Ultimate Reset. Now, if you guys are listening and you don't know much about Ultimate Reset, it gives you exactly what you're supposed to eat, like a meal plan of exactly what you're supposed to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snack every day. And so when Alex talks about the recipes and how like it really helps you learn more, and you can like use all of these recipes later, it's true. Like there's so many recipes in the book, and they're simple, easy ones to follow, but you'll like totally expand your idea of cooking for dinner, for lunch. You'll just think differently about what you're eating because of totally changing things up with these recipes. So
I wouldn't have thought they'd be filling, but like avocado and jicama salad, delicious. Like that was pretty filling, you know, and I learned how to freeze avocado.
It's true. And a lot of people, when they do this program, especially in that first week or second week, they can't even finish all the food sometimes. So I really want to say thank you so much for getting on here and sharing everything. I know Liz on here said she's thinking about doing Ultimate Reset. So if anybody's thinking about it, please message her so she can do it with somebody else. Melanie was thinking about it. Oh, Melanie, but I'm so picky that I don't know if I could follow it. Let me tell you, Melanie, there's a girl on our team who's the pickiest eater I have ever met in my entire life. Trust me, you are not as picky as her. And she did it because you're able to, there's like quick recipes in the back.
Yeah,
and
I followed those a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can swap out meals. It explains it to you. So trust me, you'll be able to open up your palate, but also finish your food by doing this. And if she can do it, not to call her out, but she knows who she is, and she would say the same thing. If she can do it, you can do it, because you really can. You just need to open up your mind and ask questions the whole way you go. If you want to ask questions. I remember her being like, ew, that's gross. I'm not even going to eat it. So she would just make something else.
Yeah, like I tried the tempeh before and I did not like it. Like I would like try it again, but I wasn't too upset that it wasn't available at the grocery store. I was like, okay, I'll have my pinto beans and rice and be fine. Or like I'll have green beans and broccoli. I'll have stir fry and cool. If you like stir fry, like Asian stir fry, you are set. You can just
oh my gosh, yeah.
You can stir fry the entire time.
Totally. So I wanted to say thank you so much, Alex, for sharing. We have to go. We're running a little bit over time. Okay. And I wanted to say thank you for everybody for being on here.
Thank you
really
guys.
Appreciate it. And Alex, you're totally inspiring. I'm so proud of you. Go follow her social media. She's on Facebook and Instagram. Like all of her pictures, give her some comments, boost her stuff, and I'll talk to you next week. See you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.